Hello, everybody, and we are live. Welcome to Talking Elite, episode 3. It's your boy, the Don Sean. We will be joined a little later in the show with our co host, Bro St. Polo. He is a little busy right now, guys. We are here. What an action packed week for combat sports and pro wrestling. I'm talking about all over the boxing world, the MMA world, the pro wrestling world. There's a bunch of events again. November always comes in strong. The 11th month of the year, setting up for December. Things are getting big. Things are getting heavy. The last major WWE pay per view before their new pay per view that they announced day one, which will start in the first day, January 1st, 2022, as well as other events that do occur. We had the Terrence Bud Crawford versus Showtime Sean Porter. What a fight, right? And, you had Misha Tate on her second return fighting Caitlin Vieira. Michael Chiesa fought Sean Brady. So many great things happening in the world of combat sports. Clarissa Shields has a back and forth with Jake Paul. Jake Paul has a back and forth with Nate Diaz. Ben Askren has a back and forth with Nate Diaz. It's been an action-packed week, and that is for sure, guys. We're going to jump right into it in just a second. We're going to get started with your boy, Don Sean's MMA Corner. We changed the name. It is now officially called Don Sean's Wolf's Den. It is a combat sports chat, guys. So, again, you guys are here, Talking Elite, episode 3, with your boy, Don Sean. Again, Bro St. Polo will be joining us shortly. If you are joining us on Facebook, please make sure you hit that like, you hit that heart, you hit that share button. If you are joining us on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe. Please ring the bell. Hit the bell for the notifications. If you are joining us on Twitch, please follow us. We're going to be adding a lot more content into our Twitch sometime soon. And if you are joining us on Twitter, if you don't mind retweeting this video and just hitting that follow button, that would be awesome. We are live everywhere except for our social media, Instagram. But that is okay, guys. You guys can follow us right here. If you guys look below, you guys can follow us right there. You can follow us on Instagram at The Talking Elite Show, and on Twitter at The Talking Elite, on YouTube and Facebook, The Talking Elite Show, and on Twitch, Talking Elite. Again, this is Talking Elite episode 3, and let's do it. So we're going to jump right into it, guys. There was an insane fight this weekend for the welterweight championship. Terrence Bud Crawford fought, like I said, Showtime Sean Porter. And, man, what a fight they had. Sean Porter coming, a couple years ago, he fought Earl Spence Jr. When Earl Spence was coming off of the car accident. Unfortunately, he's out right now with an orbital injury. Can't wait for him to come back. That is for sure. He's definitely one of my favorite welterweight boxers in the world. But, yes, they were fighting for the WBO welterweight championship, if I'm correct. And, man, what a fight Porter put up, right? Through the first 6, I was texting my brother-in-law nonstop. I was also texting my real brother. Shout out to you guys, Christian Lewis. We were there. We were chatting in the text messages, talking about every round, just kind of scoring every round. Going into the 9th round, the 10th round, I had the fight personally 6 rounds to 3 rounds in favor of Sean Porter. But, man, that 10th round, Bud Crawford just really started strong. He got that first knockdown with a nice uppercut. And, he went to his main combo, man, that right uppercut, left hook combination, and knocked Sean Porter down a second time. And then, Kenny Porter throws in the towel. I couldn't believe that. That was pretty crazy to me. Sean Porter's dad just kind of doing that. He had never been finished or stopped in any fight previously. And this was the first time, and the way it happened, it was so strange, Sean Porter showing visible frustration in the second knockdown, kind of throwing his hands down on the mat, just letting the whole world know, just, hey, man, I'm frustrated with this knockdown just as much as you guys probably are, whoever was in support of him, right? That's why I say that. But wow, Bud Crawford, gets another TKO victory. The guy is indeed a beast. He is undefeated. His exact record, I believe, is 38-0. I could be incorrect. So if I am incorrect and you guys know his correct record, please drop it down in the comments. Let me know. Keep me honest, guys. Keep me honest for sure, please. But yeah, what a fight. After the fight, they were asking him, Kenny Porter, that's who I'm referring to when I say him. They were asking Kenny, just, hey, why'd you stop the fight? Right. And Kenny said it was Sean's preparation. And as a guy, who as many of you guys, if you guys have watched the prelude episodes, you guys we will be getting into an about me episode with me and bro Saint Polo in the very near future. So stay tuned for that. But if you guys watch the prelude, you guys will know that I did announce I was an amateur wrestler. I wrestled in high school. I wrestled briefly, short stint, for my short period of time in college, as well for the army. So when I say this, it's like as a person who's competed, it's strange because I can't say I know what it's like to compete at the highest level of boxing or anything really, but I do know that when you are competing to get to the highest level and you are preparing, that you are a hungry dog, that you are putting in the best. I mean, that was the best Sean Porter I personally have ever seen. That was a way better Sean Porter to me than that fought, um, Earl Spence Jr. But I will say, in my view, from my opinion, guys, right? That's why I'm here. I'm here giving you a different perspective. Is that Sean Porter became a little predictable, right? I say predictable in the sense that like his lunging forward, right? He was lunging forward with the left hand, then going to the right hand. He was lunging forward, doing the same dip dodge motion with his head, and kind of foreshadowing, showing it, really, really showing it on his way in on all of his entries. I mean, you saw it in Bud Crawford's face. He would get hit with a 6, 7 piece combination and just smile, laugh, and shake his head like you really don't have much. And if you guys watched the fight, you guys would see, I would believe it was around round 6 or 7, in which Bud Crawford's corner was like, that's it, man. He's all powered out. He's done. He's lunging in. He's wasted all his power on all his entries. And, I mean, I definitely didn't think he was going to knock him out in that 10th round. Shout out to, again, my brother-in-law, Christian. He called it, he called it Bud Crawford by knockout. And wow, what a way for him to show up. Shout out to Sean being classy in defeat, same as he is in victory. I will say I did find his complimenting of Bud to be like a little bit kind of brown nosing in the sense that, all right, I just lost to him rather than let me gas up Earl Spence. Speaking of Earl Spence, he was in attendance for that fight. But as soon as Kenny, Sean's father, stopped the fight, he kind of just got up and walked away like, whoa, why'd you stop the fight, right? And then, and Bud Crawford in his after fight interview, of course, he thanked God as he always does, and then he spoke about, his family and then spoke on Earl Spence, like, hey, we've been trying to get this fight going for a while. And, he says Earl's scared to fight him. I don't believe that personally. Like I said, I'm more of an Earl Spence fan than a Bud Crawford fan, but I'm super excited to see who wins that fight. God knows it will, in fact, be probably one of the biggest boxing fights of this generation for sure. Two of the best welterweights to come, especially since Mayweather's gone. And plus with that being, I could be wrong. Mayweather probably never even competed at welterweight for boxing, but and it's me saying his name is for the fact that there was a time where Earl Spence was in his training camp and Mayweather kind of gave him like this guy's the future. So just kind of seeing and knowing that history about Earl Spence to see that Bud Crawford Earl Spence fight is something I personally can't wait for. I'm hoping it happens. Bud Crawford as well in his post-fight interview was talking about the possibility of moving up to 154, telling those guys to beware. So we will see what occurs. We will see what happens with these fights. I'm hoping we can somehow make the Earl Spence fight and Bud Crawford fight happen. But guys, if you guys are here with me and you know anything about this boxing fight, Earl Spence Jr., Terrence Bud Crawford, who do you guys think wins? Let's drop those comments in the comments. Let's talk about who we think will get the win. Again, if you guys are joining us on Facebook, please hit that thumbs up. Please hit that heart. Please hit that share. If you're joining us on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell, Twitch, hit the follow, Twitter, hit the follow, retweet. Anything you guys can do to help would be great. Moving on, we're going to talk about MMA, guys. What a night of fights, right? I'm not going to get into everything in regards to the fights. I'm going to speak on 3 of the biggest fights for me that I took away from UFC Vegas 43, which was the fight night that just occurred. Taila Santos, she made really short work of Joanne JoJo Wood, formerly Joanne JoJo Calderwood, right? She got married to her fiance and trainer, head coach. I'm not sure of his first name. I know his last name's obviously Wood. but she was number 5 in the world, taking on Tyler Santos, number 10. Came into the fight 18-1. Was not a very big underdog in the fight. Joanne Wood was actually the underdog as the higher rank, which is actually funny because we're going to speak on the Michael Chiesa and Sean Brady fight, which is also where somebody came in as a lesser rank but was the favorite to win the fight. Tyler Santos, like I said, makes short work of JoJo. And that's not to disrespect JoJo. JoJo, if you guys follow MMA, JoJo is in the flyweight division, 125 pounds now. She has formerly competed in the strawweight division at 115 pounds. She was on the Ultimate Fighter season that Rose and Carlos Esparza was on, the one where Carla beat Rose in the final. So, JoJo has a wealth of UFC experience. She's been in the octagon with some of the very best. I did not expect her to kind of get outworked this way. She kept her back to the cage a lot. Tyler Santos with the pressure. She's more known as a Muay Thai striker and a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist. Her Muay Thai striking very much showed, but you could see her progression into the more mixed martial arts form of combat striking. And wow, just her knees, her front kicks to gauge the space. JoJo was trying to do the same. She couldn't really do it as effectively. Again, not a knock on JoJo. I've seen her go to war with some of the very best. Again, I was very shocked. But some of these shots Tyler Santos was hitting JoJo with, I believe she got 2 to 3 knockdowns. I believe it was 3. Could have only been 2. That's why I say 2 to 3. But I believe it was 3, which led to a rear naked choke submission for a quick finish with only about 15 seconds left in the first round. JoJo just couldn't take the pressure anymore. She was kind of wilting under it. And there we go. She got the tap. Honestly, for me, Tyler Santos doing this, it was super impressive, right? She was number 10. Again, JoJo Wood was number 5. She's faced some of the very best. She's kept it close with some of the very best. If not many of you guys know, when Valentina Shevchenko first got hurt a couple years back, she was scheduled to fight JoJo Wood. The UFC offered her to wait. JoJo wanted to stay fresh, and she ended up fighting a contender, and I believe it might have been, I don't remember the exact name right now, so I don't want to speak incorrectly, but she lost her number 1 contender spot basically by taking on a fight to a lesser ranked opponent, somebody she shouldn't have really fought. She should have waited for the shot, and she ended up losing the fight, which ended up throwing her into kind of like this world of, okay, let me pick up a couple more wins and whatnot. She dropped a couple, she picked up a win or two. It's been kind of back and forth for her since. I'm hoping to see a lot more coming again from her in the sense of trying to get back to that title contendership. But this Tyler Santos woman is seems to be amazing. She has an impressive 19-1 record. Again, for a flyweight, there's not many flyweights who have a record that is comparable or percentagely by percentage win percentage better than Valentina Shevchenko at that. This one, obviously she's coming in at a crazy 19-1. So could she pose a threat for Valentina, right? That's the big question that I have after watching such a dominant performance over somebody who was once a number 1 contender for the title. Somebody that they thought could actually compete with Valentina. Now, did we all think she could? Maybe, maybe not, right? That's for something else for sure. For more people, the bookers and the booking agents at the UFC to kind of get on and talk about. But I would love to see that fight. I think with a couple more wins for Tyler Santos, more so one more win, I believe she should face the winner of Jennifer Maia and Caitlin Chukagian. I believe that makes sense. As you guys know, Caitlin Chukagian and Jennifer Maia are running it back. Jennifer Maia did pick up the win in the first fight. Caitlin Chukagian has been one of the top contenders in the flyweight division for many, many years. Shout out to you, Caitlin. If not many of you guys know Caitlin Chukagian, she is from the New York area. She's been in Hoboken. She's been all over. If you guys know me personally, you guys know I used to work down in Hoboken, so I have run into her a bunch at my old establishments, in which I did get a chance to conversate with her, and let her know I was a fan and whatnot, and kind of see her about. She's a great fighter. She can gauge distance really well. She throws a lot more volume than power to kind of just break you down, more so in the sense of like a Joanna Jędrzejczyk or those type of people who are more voluminous rather than power strikers. Like I said, she controls distance very well. She does. She is not bad at jiu-jitsu at all. She can throw Muay Thai. She can do a lot. In that first fight, I believe she was just caught off guard by Jennifer Maia. I feel like Jennifer Maia came in ready for the fight. She knew the stakes that they were. that it could bring her to contendership, which it eventually did, and then she ended up losing the fight to Valentina. A hard fought loss, the same as Caitlyn did in her fight, a hard fought loss. Valentina is an anomaly, right? For many people, it's not just these two, it's been so many prior to them. It's going to be so many after them for sure. Lauren Murphy just tried to solve the anomaly and couldn't. Lauren Murphy, who herself was on a 5 or 6 fight win streak and really dominating, it wasn't really close for many of those fights, and she got blown out the water, couldn't even get into a rhythm. So why do I think that Tyler Santos should fight the winner of Maya and Chikagian, right? So Maya and Chikagian have both fought for a title. Since fighting for the title, each of them have picked up a couple wins. Each of them have dropped a couple fights. Caitlin Chikagian more notably her loss to Jessica Andrade, which really sent Jessica Andrade to the top of the flyweight division, right, for the women. And now she's kind of holding that spot. As you guys saw earlier last month, she fought Cynthia Cavillo. Cynthia Cavillo dropped that fight. And then, as we spoke about in the last thing, Andrea Lee and Cynthia Cavillo had a war as well. So there are options out there for Tyler Santos. She could fight Andrea Lee, which would also make sense, right? 19-1, coming to fight somebody who is, working her way back into the top 10 and a newer contender facing somebody who's ready to get back into the title picture after putting up such a dominating performance over Cynthia Cavillo, where she stood in the corner through the second round and didn't answer the bell for the third, right? So there's a lot of options out here for Tyler Santos. I choose the winner of the Maya Chikagian fight because to me that makes the most sense. This woman is 19-1. She's on a heavily win streak. Obviously, since losing her one fight, she's been very dominant in majority of her UFC performances. And to see her face a top contender will really help me gauge and understand if she is ready for Valentina. Do I believe she's ready for Valentina right now? No. Do I believe she could pose a threat for Valentina right now, though? Yes, 100%. I believe that anybody in the fight game can pose a threat to anybody because, I forget who it was right now at the top of my head, but it might have been Michael Chandler who spoke about knockouts. How knockouts, you can't force a knockout, right? If you're trying to force a knockout, it almost never happens, they were saying. And how they just happen. It's like a touch of the chin. You hit the right nerve, you hit the right button, and they go out. Those are few and far between where you're forcing it and you get it, right? So knowing that anybody has a striker's chance in fighting, obviously you could pose a threat to a person. So I will say Tyler Santos, from what she's shown me thus far, could pose a threat to Valentina. Can she beat her as of right now? I don't feel like I've seen enough personally. Again, I would love to see her face the winner of the Jennifer Maia Caitlin Chikagian 2 fight. If not, I would love to see her run it with Andrea Lee after Andrea Lee put up such a dominant performance of over Cynthia Cavillo. But the same for Jessica Andrade, right? She put up a dominant performance over Cynthia Cavillo as well. So there's a lot of options out here for Tyler Santos. The Jessica Andrade fight actually also makes sense. She did also challenge for the belt very recently. And like I said, the winner of the Jennifer Maia and Caitlin Chikagian fight. Moving on, Michael Chiesa dropped a unanimous decision to Sean Brady. That fight started off in the first round very weird. Sean Brady is now 15-0 with that win. He was 14-0 prior moving into the fight. As you guys know, Michael Chiesa is an Ultimate Fighter winner. He's been in the UFC for a long time. Again, another guy with a lot of UFC experience. Fought at lightweight, moved up to welterweight, which is 170 in the UFC. And has been dominant at 170. He just took a couple, he just took a loss, 2 losses, obviously back to back now in his last 2 fights. So he definitely has to hit the chalkboard a little bit. But Michael Chiesa is a staple. I don't think he anticipated to get out grappled in such a way by Sean Brady or out wrestled, right? Sean Brady came on strong. Again, the fight started weird in the first round. There was that one eye poke accidental almost immediately. Michael Chiesa put his hands up. And then they show a replay for the second poke, and it kind of looks like it wings him right here in the eye, like on the side of the nose, but it definitely gives him a cut right here, guys. As you guys can see, I'm marking it under my cheek. It gave Sean Brady a nice cut that was leaking. And then, his nose kind of just got banged up. Michael Chiesa was really picking his shots very well. Would I've loved to see him do a little more, like instead of using the parrying just to kind of gauge the distance, I would have loved to see him throw a little more of those strikes with intent. I think that was his problem in this fight. Personally, to me, that's what gave away the decision. was, besides the ground control time, was the just not throwing enough. His strikes landed when he threw. A lot of them 100% landed too. But when Sean is throwing a lot more, trying to gauge a lot more, I understand why the decision came down the way it did. Sean Brady, like I said, he moved to 15-0. He could be a big dark horse, really, to challenge Usman in the near future, right? Another guy who's undefeated coming up. He's working his way through some tough top competition. Michael Chiesa, especially when he stepped up to the welterweight division, almost immediately was like the number 3 or 4 ranked guy, when he got a couple wins. And, now he was number 6 in this fight against Brady. I believe Brady was number 12 or number 10. And now, he's going to be in the top 10. And it's just kind of smooth sailing from there. At this point, really, for him, there's many fights out there, right? There's that elusive Gilbert Burns fight that a lot of people are kind of searching for right now, since he's high ranked and just recently challenged. There's the Jorge Masvidal fight that obviously a lot of people want now because of his superstardom. Colby Covington, Neil Magny, right? There's a lot of guys here at welterweight. One guy in particular saw his performance and thought, hey, UFC, I want to fight this guy. And I am speaking about none other than Khamzat Chimaev, guys. Khamzat Chimaev tweeted out, I like this guy. I want to fight this guy. And I wouldn't mind seeing that matchup. Obviously, I believe this is just Khamzat looking to fight a higher ranked guy, since he's been kind of chasing for it. He tried to chase the Leon fight after Jorge had to pull out of that due to a rib injury. He tried to get that. Nick Diaz also put his name up. Gilbert Burns also put his name up. Wonder Boy put his name up. Bilal Muhammad put his name up. Guys, there's so many people at 170 right now. And this is what I'm saying, right? Like Sean Brady, 170, the people he has to get through to get to that title are great competitors. Bilal Muhammad has been, in the recent years especially, a lot tougher to face, a lot more difficult to face. Unfortunately, he had that no contest with Leon for the eye poke. I would love to have seen that one get run back. I will say he was having a very hard time with Leon. I'm personally not the biggest Leon Edwards fan, but I respect what he does. I'm not huge on point fighting and mixed martial arts. I'm here for the show, more than likely either the war or the great grappling exchanges with the great ground and pound. I like the Russian style too, that combat sambo style. It's tough, like even that style, nobody's really figured out. So, Khamzat poses a big threat to the division as well. Sean Brady, these guys, but they have so many people that they have to compete against and get through to kind of get to where they got to go in this division at this point right now, especially with the fact that Kamaru Usman's pretty much, he's got a really strong stranglehold on it. So we'll see kind of what pops up, what happens. Shout out to Sean Brady. Classy in his win, classy in his interview. He said he would love to fight the winner of Wonder Boy and Bilal Muhammad. I like that call out. I would like to see that fight. The winner of them fight Sean Brady. It kind of gets him closer to that title picture. Wonder Boy challenged for it twice against Tyron Woodley. Hasn't really been able to get back there yet. He's been trying to, not quite yet though, right? And then finally, in the main event, Miesha Tate returning for her second fight since coming back from retirement. If not many of you guys are familiar, Miesha Tate is the former bantamweight champion. She beat Holly Holm after Holly Holm beat Ronda Rousey. Remember, Holly didn't have to take that fight. She did. She lost the title. Miesha then fights Amanda Nunes. She loses the title. And that's where we are today, folks. Amanda Nunes beat Miesha Tate years ago before she retired for the belt. And now Miesha Tate has come out of retirement to try and chase that fight, to fight Amanda again in the rematch for the belt. So it's been so many years that Amanda Nunes has been so dominant in the division. Miesha Tate, like I said, returning for a second fight. She drops a unanimous decision to Caitlin Vieira. And, I will say, though, Miesha Tate's performance was really good. She was out here striking. She was competing with the striking. She was staying in the striking battles. She wasn't becoming desperate for takedowns when the striking was getting tough. I was thoroughly impressed by that. If you guys are familiar with Miesha in the past, like I've mentioned before, she'd get into these striking battles and kind of just get dropped and start chasing takedowns and trying to force them, head down, shooting in, trying to get the takedowns. This fight, a little slow, I won't lie. So if you go and watch it, don't expect some super action-packed, fast voluminous fight. It's not anything like that. It's a lot of kind of gauging distance, figuring out the rhythm, and then getting it going. Misha Tate, she thought that with a dominant first round win over this, she can be in the title picture again, since a lot of contenders have already challenged and lost for the belt. I don't see that. I couldn't have seen that really. I thought she should have had to fought Holly or somebody who's been at the top of the division for these many years again for that. But that's obviously up to the UFC and not up to me, right? So Caitlin Vieira, though, she and her win and her post fight interview lets everybody know. I think this fight puts me back, in the top five. I don't see why it wouldn't. Misha Tate's a big name, big star power behind her, right? Again, former UFC bantamweight champion herself, with the win over Holly Holm. So Caitlin back in the top five makes sense. For the belt next, no way. I definitely think she would need to run it with Juliana Pena again and some other people just to kind of see where skills really at, right? Juliana Pena is coming up December 11th. She's going to be challenging Amanda Nunes for that 135 belt. So we will see. We will see by the end of 2021. Is Amanda Nunes still on top, right? Misha Tate came back for that challenge. Is Amanda Nunes going to still be on top at the end of the year? If you guys think so, drop it down in the comments. Who will be the bantamweight champion after UFC 269 for the women? Will it still be Amanda Nunes, or will it be Ann Noon, Juliana Pena showing out, right, for the Hispanic community? She's been on a roll. She's really wanted this fight. She's been chasing down this fight. If you guys remember a couple pay-per-views ago when the fight got canceled due to COVID, she was just out there like, when can we get this fight? She's really been lobbying for it. I hope she's genuinely prepared for it for sure. But yeah, guys, just kind of keep moving forward. Let's talk a little bit about some stuff that was happening around the MMA community today, right? Just Nate Diaz, Jake Paul, and Ben Askren. What the hell's going on with all of that, guys? Jake Paul talking his ish as always. Nate just lets him know, like, dude, you're not a real fighter. You were losing a real fight. You fight wrestlers. You don't fight real fighters. Let that sink in. Jake talking his issue. You have 6 times as many losses as Ben Askren. Let that sink in, right? And then he talks about how he owns Stockton. Let that sink in. Ben then starts talking shit to Nate, talking about at least he ran towards danger. He runs away from danger, and all this. I don't really care to see a Ben Askren versus Nate Diaz in MMA fighting. I mean, look, Ben has great wrestling. That's great. He has shitty striking, especially since coming to the UFC. That win against Robbie Lawler was not a genuine win, and that's coming from me. I'm a big Ben Askren fan. I don't think Nate Diaz is the fight he wants. Nate or Nick, right? None of the Diaz brothers. The thing that we all forget is due to this, like, these long gaps in Nate's fighting, is that, yeah, even though many people may consider him a journeyman, he's been in the UFC and he's fought the best of the best, right? He's only been truly stopped one time. That Jorge Masvidal, that cut over his eye, any other commission would have let the fight keep going. As we know, Nate picks it up in the fights. I was rooting for Jorge that night anyway, but I'm just saying, guys, round 4, round 5, we truly don't know what would have happened. I mean, Nate's shown it in all the years prior that he's got the gas to go forever, right? 6-round fights, 7-round fights, 8-round fights. People even make the jokes, right? Vicente Luque, all these guys will make it an unlimited fight until there's a stoppage, if that's what you want, right? I just think Nate's jiu-jitsu is a lot better than Ben's. It's different when you're a wrestler, right? Coming from a wrestler, when you're controlling people on the ground, it's great, right? You're in dominant position. But when you're, as a wrestler, when you're controlling people on the ground and you're controlling a jiu-jitsu practitioner, you have to be very wise and very smart about the positions you're putting yourself and allowing yourself to get into while trying to hold your opponent down, right? Like, as a wrestler, my goal is to keep my hips higher. It's to keep the pressure, almost all my body pressure on this person, really make them carry my weight, lock their legs up, tie their legs up, continue sweeping their feet out, kicking their legs out as they're trying to get up, right? A lot of these motions and moves you make as a wrestler when you're trying to hold the guy down, when you're going against a jiu-jitsu practitioner, you could really set yourself up for like a lot of knee bars, heel hooks, arm bars, just Americana, just so many different things you could really kind of just get rolled into or just kind of just walk into, right? So do I want to see Ben Askren versus Jake Paul like Ben's calling for? I mean, versus Nate Diaz like he's calling for? Hell no. We already saw Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. We saw what happened. A quick old knockout. Wasn't even close. Pretty crazy, right? But continuing on the Jake Paul topic, Claressa Shields, guys. If you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Claressa Shields, the self-proclaimed GOAT, right? Greatest woman of all time, two-time Olympic gold medalist, multi-division boxing world champion, and she's a beast. She is actually funny thing is she challenged Jake Paul 100K to a 6-round sparring match after each of their respective December fights. I find that funny, right? She said, "Let's find out, who can go, or if you're even still awake by the end of it," right? I don't see Jake Paul accepting 100K. I probably see him saying, "Let's make it 1 million, and then we could do this." If you guys don't know, Claressa fights December 11th. She's going to enemy territory to defend both of her belts, and Jake Paul fights December 18th against Tommy Fury. Also on that card is another self-proclaimed GOAT, Amanda Serrano, multi-division women's champion as well. She's doing a nice tune-up fight before she goes for another history-making fight, moving up a weight class to unify another belt. Um, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Jake Paul is going to accept this fight? Right, like it's a sparring fight and it's against Claressa Shields. Um, and how do you guys see that going? I mean, personally, I'm not. Many people may feel a certain way about this. I'm not big when it comes to combat sports on doing like an intergender battle. I just I understand Claressa Shields is a two-time Olympic gold medalist. I understand she's a world-class boxer. I do believe there's danger though in going into a combat with somebody of the opposite gender who's could possibly, right, there's rumors of steroids, there's rumors of all this stuff, right? Like, God forbid, right, you don't want to risk your mental health or like your well-being, your mental well-being, going into something like that. I respect Claressa's gangster for that, and that's just the truth. That is what it is. Shout outs to Claressa, shout outs to Flint, Michigan, her whole entire team. She's been having a back and forth with Jake for a long time now. After her PFL fight, not too long ago, Jake called her a loser and all this stuff. And I agree with Dana White. Claressa Shields is anything but a loser. She has some stuff she has to work on in MMA. But in regards to boxing, she is exactly all she says she is. She's tough. She's a beast. She's multi-division champion, one of the quickest in either gender, right? To win as many belts as she has as quickly as she has. But when it comes to mixed martial arts, it's not just about boxing. Like even Max Holloway made a joke to Yair Rodriguez after their fight. You have a great boxing stance, but in boxing you can't throw elbows, right? Like joking around about it, because it's mixed martial arts striking. Claressa is a beast when it comes to the boxing. She definitely has to work on her mixed martial arts game a little bit more. She has to work on her clinch game. She definitely has to work on her wrestling. She can't just allow herself to be held down. So shout out to her. Shout out to Jackson Wink MMA. She's getting that working down there. Keep pushing for it. I'd love to see where her MMA career takes her, and that's for sure. But we're gonna keep going, yeah. So what do you guys think? Does Jake Paul accept? Does he say make it 1 million? And if you guys are still following along, drop that down in the comments. Let us know what you think. If you're watching this after it is live, you can still drop that comment. We stay in touch. We read these comments all the time, and we're staying on top of it. Another thing, let's talk about, guys. We have some huge events coming up. One of which being UFC 269. I've already mentioned the Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes fight. I do want to talk about the Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier fight, for the lightweight crown. That is for the 155 title. Many people earlier in the year were upset and frustrated that like Michael Chandler came in, had one fight, and fought for the belt. He was been at the top, honestly, for a very long time outside of the UFC. I personally had no issue with that. I love seeing him fight for the belt. As a Michael Chandler fan, that was cool. Charles Oliveira, 28 fights in the UFC, definitely earned his way to a title shot for sure, without a doubt. Charles Oliveira ends up winning that fight. At first, Dustin and Justin and a bunch of other guys in the lightweight division were kind of saying, "Oh, he's not the real champ. I'm not buying him as the champ. I'm not buying him as the champ." Well, that narrative has changed, folks, and I'm here to tell you all about it. If you guys follow MMA Junkie, MMA Uncensored, anything, or any MMA outlet, really, you'll see Dustin Poirier has been doing a lot more interviews. He did his podcast with Dan Lambert, which led to, Justin Gaethje making that comment about how he might retire, and then, Dustin being like, "Nah, I'm the guy to hand out the ass whoopings that this division needs." Excuse me one second. Sorry about that, guys. But yes, so sit here and say, I'm the guy that needs to hand out all the ass whoopings that this division needs. Now he's starting to change his tune about Charles Oliveira. He's starting to call him a threat. He's starting to say he poses a bigger threat than I initially thought, right? His jiu-jitsu game, he's dangerous. Everything he throws with intent. He throws to finish the fight. He has a lot of experience. The most finishes, submission finishes, especially in the UFC. This guy is indeed very dangerous. He is the champion for a reason. I don't believe Justin Gaethje's comment about saying this guy has no dog in him. I love Justin Gaethje, but that is crazy. Much like Dustin brought up in that interview, like I said, if you guys watch MMA Junkie, how does this guy have no dog in him? He got rocked in the first round of the Michael Chandler fight, had to fight, he was getting ripped on his head, turned to his back, pulled guard, survived the round to get the finish in the second round. So where are we going to sit here and say this guy has no dog in him? He was about to get finished, right? And there's the dog. The dog showed up. It was, let me go to my jiu-jitsu. Let me grab this guy. And then boom, second round, he laces Michael Chandler twice, right? Knocks him down with that right hand, gets him against the fence, catches him running, and just throws that looping left hook and just boom. He's the champ. I respect that Dustin's opinion has changed. I respect that Dustin is respecting Charles Oliveira more. It makes more sense. It needs more sense. If you guys are dismissing the champion, how is it going to sell the fight? How does it make it work, right? So if he's changing his tune just because he wants to sell the fight, okay. But if he's changing his tune because he actually believes Charles Oliveira is a threat, then that's where I believe he needs to be. Charles Oliveira is a very big threat to Dustin Poirier. Maybe not in the striking department, but if you're talking about the ground game, this guy is a submission specialist. Do Bronx literally means the ghetto. This guy is from the ghetto of Brazil. Brazil, one of the most dangerous countries in the world. This guy can bring it. He trains out of Shootbox Academy, one of the most legendary MMA gyms in the world, right? Vanderlei Silva, Mauricio Shogun Hua, so many others that have come from that gym. This guy is a beast. Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira, December 11th, UFC 269. With all that being said, my prediction is the Diamond in 4. I do believe Dustin's striking is just on a different level than Charles. I do believe Dustin's going to take this guy to deeper waters than he's been in a very, very long time. And we'll see where he goes with it. I also say this because I saw how Max Holloway's striking affected Charles Oliveira when they fought. Obviously, that was a long time ago, 10 pounds lighter. But Dustin is a much more improved striker as well. We've seen what he's done with a lot of guys, including Conor McGregor. But he was indeed getting rocked by Conor in that fight as well. So I'm excited for that fight. My personal prediction is Dustin in 4. And I would love for after that to see the Justin and Dustin 2 rematch. And then for him to go on and see what's next after that. And I hope he doesn't retire. Like the rumors are spewing. He did kind of allude to that on the Dan Lambert podcast, which is why I believe, again, that Justin kind of mentioned it for sure, in the sense that, like, hey, I don't know if this guy's going to stick around, right? Is he going to? It sounds like he's going to go. But he's here. He's still around. And this is where we're at, guys. So, Dustin, good luck to you in UFC 269. I will not be betting any money because that fight is going to be anybody's game for sure. Charles Oliveira as well. Good luck to you in that fight. I cannot wait to see UFC 269, the lightweight title, Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier, and then the women's bantamweight championship, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. 2 very great title fights to end the year. And I'm excited to see what comes in the new year. What's going to happen in 2022 for the UFC. So many great contenders, guys. Who was your guys' favorite MMA fighter or breakout MMA fighter of the year? Let us know in the comments. I can personally say that there's been so many that have debuted or been signed through the Contender Series and who have fought that have just really, really show, right? Like that Chris Montehinho kid had nothing but heart when he bumped up from flyweight to fight Sean O'Malley at 135. He was taking a bunch of strikes. I'm personally not too much a fan of Sean O'Malley. I don't think he's as good as the hype that everybody's giving him. And I do think that if him and Adrian Yanez really do pair up and fight, Adrian Yanez, who also just picked up a victory this weekend, I do think Adrian takes that fight. So we'll see. There's some more, people, Hamzat Chimaev, a lot of people's breakout star of last year and this year at this point. So many people. Like I said, Islam Makhachev puts up a big win over Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker fights 2 incredible years worth of fights, man. And he's actually dropping back down to 145. It looks like if you guys are following his social media. Speaking of social media, you guys can follow us. Shameless plug on Instagram at the Talking Elite Show, on Twitter at the Talking Elite, YouTube and Facebook the Talking Elite Show, and on Twitch at Talking Elite. If you guys are not following us yet, please hit that follow. If you're joining us on Facebook, please hit that thumbs up. Please hit that heart. Please share this for the entire world to see, you guys. If you're joining us on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. If you're joining us on Twitch, hit that follow. And if you are joining us on Twitter, hit that follow. And please hit that retweet. Moving on, we're to talk more, right, guys? We're going to get kind of out of the wolves' den. So thank you guys for the Combat Sports Chat. I know I took a lot of time with that. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit for any of you guys who do need our social media accounts. Again, right there for you guys. And we're going to get into the pro wrestling. We're going to talk about some pro wrestling now, guys. I'm personally going to start off with something that I really like. GCW and Orange Crush are teaming up to do an Indie Hall of Fame. I think this is huge. This is the first annual class for the Indie Hall of Fame, and they have announced 3 people so far. Their first announcement is Jerry Lynn, the legendary Jerry Lynn, as an inductee into the Indie Hall of Fame. If you guys are not familiar with Jerry Lynn has been in the wrestling business for nearly 30 plus years. He has been seen on WCW, ECW, WWF, WWE. He was also seen in GCF. GWF. He was also in Ring of Honor. He was in TNA. I mean, this guy has been around the wrestling industry for a very, very long time. So shout out to GCW and Orange Crush for doing this Indie Hall of Fame. So we're going to jump right into that, guys. We're going to talk about it. So the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame, Jerry Lynn. So if you guys are not familiar, Jerry Lynn is currently signed with All Elite Wrestling as a producer and coach. He has worked for promotions, like I said, such as WCW, ECW, WWF, TNA, Ring of Honor. He is a 2-time heavyweight champion. He's held the ECW heavyweight champion as well as the Ring of Honor world heavyweight champion 1 time apiece. Other championships that he's held in his career is the GWF, which was the Global Wrestling Federation. Light heavyweight championship. He held that once. That was in Dallas, Texas. Then he held the WWF light heavyweight championship before it became the cruiserweight title once as well. He was the TNA X Division champion twice. He was the NWA World Tag Team Champion twice and the WWA International Cruiserweight Champion once. He retired from active wrestling on March 23, 2013, 25 years after his career began. So if that was 25 years after his career began in 2013, it is now 2021. He's been in the business for 33 years. Again, he is a producer and coach at All Elite Wrestling. And you can obviously see a lot of these guys in AEW's inspiration from Jerry Lynn. If you guys are not familiar with Jerry Lynn's early stuff in ECW especially, he had one of the best feuds with Rob Van Dam when Rob Van Dam was as over as he probably has ever been in his career. It was when he was the ECW TV champion, which is funny because if you guys remember, initially in their first ever encounter, Jerry Lynn beat Rob Van Dam. Because the match came to an end and the referee had to choose a winner, right? And instead of that, Jerry asked for the match to get extended 5 minutes, in which he ended up losing in those 5 minutes he asked for to Rob Van Dam for the television title. But because of that, you remember it was Rob was the whole effing show, right? He was the whole fucking show in ECW. He was just so over, like I said, as the TV champion, just doing the Rob Van Dam, and everything. The whole world was going for it. And then Jerry Lynn started calling himself the new effing show after that. Why not, right? And it was over, so over. Jerry Lynn, one of the original guys who I've really ever seen do a tope con hero, suicida, anything, really. He was so high flying, but also so powerful. He really bridged the divide of a luchador, in my opinion, and a typical North American wrestler, and just kind of brought them together. in such a form and fashion at the time that I truly didn't really see from many people. Too Cold Scorpio had a similar style. And in ECW, that was really starting to become the wave. Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, and all these guys were so different. You had certain guys who were power guys, certain guys who were high flyers, and then you had these guys who came in and can really do a little bit of it all. Not so much the Malenkos and the Benoits, obviously. Those guys were more tactical and technical, but some other guys. So shout out to GCW Orange Crush. Jerry Lynn's definitely a well-deserving inductee into the Indie Hall of Fame. And then their second announced guy, Homicide. 187 Homicide, baby. If you guys are familiar with Homicide, Homicide's also been in the industry for a very, very long time. I think this is a long overdue accolade for him for sure. I do believe he deserves this 1,000% Indie Hall of Fame for our boy. Oh, look who's here. Let's talk to him.
Let's get this money.
Bro,
I have arrived.
Polo, welcome.
I have arrived.
3.
I appreciate you, my man. Thank you for your patience, bro. I appreciate it, man.
All good.
How we doing?
Guys. We're doing good. We are actually currently talking about the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame, as you see on our sticker down below.
Yes,
I already spoke about Jerry Lynn.
Jerry Lynn.
Spoke about a bunch of his accolades. I talked about how he had one of the best feuds with Rob Van Dam when Rob Van Dam was at his peak in ECW. The new effing show versus the whole effing show. Such an amazing thing. I literally just started speaking about Homicide, though. Let's continue, guys. Does Homicide deserve this? Yes, 100 billion%.
Of course.
Not even a question. He is the epitome of indie wrestling. But also, he is best known for his time in Impact. It was after it became really, it was more so TNA, and then it became Impact, right?
Yep.
He was a one-time X Division champion. He's a 3-time World Tag Team champion. He's won the NWA.
I forgot about that.
Yep, he won the NWA World Tag Team titles twice. And then
forgot about his X Division title run.
Yeah, it was
good point. Yeah.
It was
brief, but it was brief,
very brief.
Yes.
And I think that's why it's easy to forget, because at that time he was also he was more notably a tag team wrestler, right? So he also has helped TNA World Tag Team Champions once, right? So that he originally was in TNA when it was NWA TNA, right? Where Jeff Jarrett first really began it. And then when it became TNA Impact, he was a TNA World Tag Team Champion. With his tag team partner Hernandez, as many people know, was
Supermex.
That's it. LAX.
Supermex, the man.
He's also known from his time at Ring of Honor, where he also held the Ring of Honor World Championship and the World Tag Team Championship one time each. And he was also the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Tag Team Champion. And he was the winner of the Tonga and Cash Invitational Tournament aside B-Boy. And he was also the Jersey All-Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champion, where he's held both the Heavyweight Championship and the Tag Team Championship 7 times each.
First of all,
right.
Let's just kudos to GCW for even having this concept of the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame, bro.
Yeah, shout out to GCW and Orange Crush for sure. Indie Hall of Fame is sick.
Off rip, that is probably one of the greatest ideas I've ever. Because let me tell you something. Outside of the mainstream stuff of what we see at WWE or what WCW had or the NWA had back in the day, the heartland of pro wrestling in the early 2000s and beyond now is independent pro wrestling.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, indie pro wrestling is the heart of professional wrestling at this stage of the game. Most people right now, you don't have to get a big break going to WWE. You don't have to get a big break going to AEW. Hell, you don't even have to get a big break going to Impact or NWA. You could go to GCW. You could go to MLW, which we're going to get to MLW in a little bit. Because
right now, look, guys, I'm going to you guys see this?
Boy. The announcement that was made yesterday. Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday indeed.
Don Sean.
All right, guys. You guys are going to see it here because legally I'm not allowed to put the message up on our screen as it is not our original content. I'm going to now shamelessly take our plugs down for the social media. They will be back up soon, guys. Don't you worry. We are done talking about the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame. Again, shout out to GCW. Shout out to Orange Crush, the first annual Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame. We spoke about Jerry Lynn. We spoke about Homicide. They did also announce today or yesterday that Ruckus is also going to be getting inducted.
Okay.
I'm not 100% too familiar with Ruckus. I won't lie. I have seen a bunch of his stuff here and there. Not so much where I can say I've seen consistent amounts of his work. That is why I didn't want to disrespect him and his legacy and speak about him without being a lot more familiar. So when I'm a lot more familiar next episode, guys, I will indeed speak on Ruckus also being announced into this Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame. Stay tuned each and every episode. As they keep announcing, I will keep informing.
Gotta look this up, but isn't Ruckus the gentleman who does the music for the superstars of AEW now? Are we talking about that Are we talking about that Ruckus? I think.
Well, I'm talking about he had a black and mild in his mouth in his photo for the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Jeez!
We're talking about that Ruckus. We're talking about that Ruckus. If you guys look below us and at that ticker, you guys will see our shop. Major League Wrestling, MLW, one of the major indie promotions. They are so major indie promotion, they sign you to a contract.
Understand.
Announces that they are opening their doors, much like AEW did with the Forbidden Door.
This is different.
AEW did with the Forbidden Door. MLW has taken it and flipped it, tied it into a pretzel, and said, "Hey guys, this isn't a Forbidden Door.
This is the open door policy, bro.
Door. Listen, guys, this show is not for little babies. This is for grown adults. We do speak adult language. I curse a lot. We're going to talk about it.
It's a form of passion, Don Sean. It's a form of passion.
MLW today announced, and guys, this is quote for quote the caption on their Instagram page. So all credit to Major League Wrestling's Instagram. MLW today announced that the league will install a new open door policy. The policy, engineered to deliver dream matches against MLW's top contracted competitors, will commence this December. Guys, we are days away. We are 8 days away. We are 8. We actually.
You know who can walk through this open door policy, Don Sean?
49 minutes. We're 7 days and 49 minutes away from this.
You know who can walk through the whole thing?
Any motherfucking body.
Just let them release more people, bro. Like this is this is such a thriving time for pro wrestling right now, bro. Understand, Don, showing the magnitude of this when I heard this yesterday. When you showed me this, I was like, God dog it. God damn. They just, mind you, they just released John Morrison, who had for the second time in 10 years, bro.
After bringing him back.
With no world title run, I might add. With no world title run. Nothing to show for it. Except the tag team title run with The Miz.
Yeah.
What the hell does that have? You know what? We ain't about to get into that. Anyway, you know how many people can walk through this open door policy?
Anybody. And that's literally, guys, we're going to continue. Recognizing unprecedented free agency market, MLW will open its doors to all who think they have what it takes to be Major League and take on MLW's greatest grapplers in championship. While the majority of MLW's roster features contracting competitors, a percentage of each card will now feature free agents, ensuring exciting and unpredictable matches. A direct quote from MLW matchmaker Cesar Duran says, "Why allow your career to be at the mercy of the whims of a billionaire? I've always welcomed the hottest free agents to my arena. An open door policy gives MLW fans exciting dream matches against MLW's best." With a wave of new and exciting free agents unexpectedly finding a need for work, MLW's open door policy ushers in an era where MLW contracted talent will face the most in-demand freelancers. Whether they fight one night or 10 years in MLW, the open door policy will showcase and give exposure to a wide variety of talent and create the best cards for fans while creating opportunities, continued Duran. Who will step forth? Let's find out. And then guess who's the first motherfucking person who comments, guys? Big Dog, Big Boss, Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor himself says, "Say less."
Sign him up.
You guys know, I've already said this thousands of times. Go back to our social media, which I will shamelessly plug again. Go back to our Facebooks. Go back to Twitter.
Look at this.
Go back
Look at
to
this
YouTube.
niceness, bro.
Go
Look
back
at this niceness.
wherever you guys need to go. Watch the prelude. Watch episodes 1. Watch episode 2, and listen to me. You guys will hear me say it, and bro St. Polo right here can confirm I am a huge Ring of Honor lover. I confirm and I go to bat for all of their talent. I think they have some of the best, most underrated talent in the world. Shane Taylor went from being virtually unknown to me about 5 or 6 years ago, and then just conquered the Indies. Made a huge name for himself, came back to Ring of Honor, and just put on work. For such a big dude, he moves with such finesse. It's not even funny. And that's not a dig at the finesse guy, Chris Bay. No way. That is just me.
It better not be a dig at Chris Bay, bro. You need to watch yourself, man.
No, I would never do a dig at Chris Bay. Chris Bay and fucking Leo Rush just put on such a great match in New Japan. But Shane Taylor, guys, against Alex Hammerstone would be insane.
Think of the possibilities.
Against a behemoth of a man. Dude, I want to know, and this is literally the question I wrote in my notes for tonight, is who challenges Alex Hammerstone first? Look, guys, not the GCW announcers. Who challenges Alex Hammerstone first? Guys, I'm so real about it. Who? And then MLW announces the National Openweight Tournament is about to start again, too. Who? Who's going to win that belt? One of the dopest belts in the game, by the way. If you guys have never seen that design, go check it out. What do you got to say about this, bro? I can't look. You hear me?
Here's my hot take. I had a hot take on this one earlier in the Rising, my good man, and I thought to myself, I'm like, with all the talent that is being released and all the wayward they can go in the world, you could really, yes, there's Impact and there's NWA, but Don Sean, do you really look at them as a legit third?
Well, you know my thoughts on that. And I can speak on it if you want to right now. We can get into it a little later.
Bro, here's my thing. I'm like, Cesar Duran just really opened up the door for MLW to be a really strong third.
Yes, I will 100% agree. I think MLW now is coming in as a very strong third. Not only for this, but just because
they are coming into their own, bro.
Their world champion, Alex Hammerstone, as I just mentioned, is a legitimate world champion. He is not a guy holding an indie world heavyweight belt, just developing his talent.
Have you seen his faction, the Hammerheads?
Yes.
Just a bunch of monsters on that squad.
Did you just watch the War Chamber?
Oh boy, I did it.
Yeah, boy. See, that's what, guys. I'm gonna put him on, and then we're gonna talk about that.
Yo,
These guys
bro,
are MLW, Cesar Duran. Shout out to whatever you guys are doing. But speaking about the Impact, I'm sorry, didn't mean to call him TNA. I'm still stuck on the Jerry Lynn stuff. Bringing that up.
Hey, man, it's cool.
Impact, NWA. If my bro St. Polo could tell you guys right here, I dropped a little bit of a original, but not so original idea on him. As well, talked to my brother Lewis about it. What if, right, to become a legitimate third, the NWA and Impact reunite? But at this point,
yes, you brought this up to me. Yes, you did.
Yes, but at this point, they're not going to reunite and be NWA, TNA, or nothing. No, it will be the National Wrestling Alliance. They can have their show Power, and then they can have a weekly show called Impact. That way, to not bring up any confusion.
But you have both wrestlers.
Exactly. You have both rosters. You sign a bunch of these Ring of Honor free agents. You sign some of these WWE free agents. And now you have a legitimate third company. You have a legitimate third company with a long lineage and history already attached to it with the National Wrestling Alliance and their championships. You still use 10 pounds of gold as their main World Heavyweight Champion. You use the Impact Heavyweight Championship as your secondary champion, right? Because if you're going to have two shows, like Power and Impact, you're going to want that, right, to spread out.
I get what you're saying.
You do away with the Impact belt.
Yo, you ain't doing away with the NWA World Title.
No way. Like I said, it has the lineage and the legacy you need to start a third company.
Yeah.
You keep the NWA National Championship. You keep the NWA Television Championship. You keep the X Division title. I say you keep the X Division title because the X Division
You
title
definitely
to
keep the X
me
Division title.
is one of the most aerial-driven, acrobatic, cruiserweight style, but became a heavyweight title as well.
I will ask you this.
Yes.
I will ask you this. To make it different, though, do you bring back 6 sides for Impact? To give it a different feel, do you bring back? I want 6 sides. I missed the 6-sided
I would
ring.
say you bring back the 6 sides if it's for the steel cage style matches. The 6 sides
Just for Lockdown?
Just for those. I would say that because something I genuinely miss really being something that was, how can I word this correctly? Something I missed that was something that was actually like something to look forward to in WWE was the Elimination Chamber match. Not the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, no,
match.
God, no, that, bro, God, no.
You get what I'm saying? Not the
I
pay-per-view.
got a thing or two to say about Survivor Series later on, but we don't have our... Yeah.
The match itself, like when it started at Survivor Series 02 with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and those guys, it was
Kane
crazy.
And Jericho
right?
and Booker, yeah.
The plexiglass and everything. I mean, these guys jumping from the cage and actually, like, you really believe that story they sold on it being 10,000 tons of steel and
or 2 miles of steel chain running through the man.
It was nuts.
You believed all of that.
So when TNA brought up, the lockdown, right, the 6-sided cage,
6 sides of steel, yeah.
It to me was like, it was crazy in the sense of, wow, this is like an elimination style match without the chamber itself,
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I would love to see the 6 sides for that. I got confused with the 6 sides a bit. I won't lie in TNA because, like, when you do multi-tag matches, it's like, all right, where's everybody gonna stand? You know what I mean?
Right.
In that sense, I do like it though because, like you said, it's very different. It
Much
brings
different.
a whole different look now instead
of. Bro, when Hulk Hogan abolished it, I was so disgusted, bro. I was I'm like, yes, don't get me wrong. 4-sided ring represents the tradition of professional wrestling and all that good jazz. But man, TNA had it. That was the identity of Impact Wrestling. That 6-sided ring, because the X Division was clearly in its own league. Ultimate X, they made the 6-sided ring work. You feel? Imagine if Leo Rush was in a 6-sided ring.
If Leo Rush was in a 6-sided ring, if Dante Martin was in a 6-sided ring, if any of these
Trey Miguel right now, boy,
these guys, they're like, it's like, and obviously I know they don't, guys. Just understand this is just me saying it. It's like these guys are on a billion pills of Adderall. These guys are moving so fast. These guys are just insane. Like, just look at the exchange between Leo Rush and that tag team match he just had
against the Acclaimed.
Against the Acclaimed.
Or you talk?
Yes, he was. That exchange he had with Anthony Bowens was
boy. If JR didn't eloquently say it, man, quicker than the proverbial hiccup.
That's it.
Quicker than the proverbial hiccup, bro.
What a guy. What a guy. I'm happy to see him signed again. I'm happy that he didn't retire. I'm glad to see him in such a different space as well.
He's in a good
The 6-sided ring, man. It's so much. There's so many different mixed emotions about it, right? I've seen so many bad matches with it, but I've seen so many amazing matches with it.
Dude, you mentioned Homicide.
The AJ, and this is the thing, right? These are guys.
You mentioned Homicide, right?
To the Feds.
How about LAX against Team 3D?
Come on.
That old chestnut.
That classic. But this is the point, guys, right? Like, you've seen guys, and this is the funny thing, where guys are like, oh, they're signing ex-WWE guys to AEW. Guess what? WWE basically has like 5 WWE grown superstars left, right? Cesaro was in Ring of Honor previously. If you guys
Claudio Castagnoli is not.
If you guys paid attention to anything that was posted on social media today about the whole Road to Dynamite match between Danielson and Colt Cabana, you would have saw photos of Cesaro from his time.
Claudio Castagnoli.
A lot of these people, and a lot of these wrestlers who are there are not WWE grown, right? They're from other companies. So,
Sean, the new guys are now.
I heard such a shitty take today on the WWE podcast that Beth Phoenix went on today, talking about NXT 2.0, that the podcast host, and I'm not this guy, and this is literally what I told my brother I would never want to do, and that's challenge another podcaster. But dude, what a fucking shitty take you had to sit here and say that NXT 2.0 is developing wrestlers to be better set off for the main brands of SmackDown and Raw than the black and gold NXT did. Are you fucking kidding me? Samoa Joe, Aleister Black, who is now Malachi Black, Andrade, who, is also an AEW, Jesus Christ, Finn Balor, you know what I mean? Seth Rollins. We can go on.
Sami Zayn,
Kevin Owens,
Seth Rollins, Big E,
Kevin Owens, like so many.
Just to name a few from the original Black and Gold.
Ricochet with the North American title before all
Adam Cole, baby.
All these people,
the Cole, Undisputed Era.
The whole entire thing.
Roderick Strong.
And say the NXT 2.0, which has proven to be hot garbage the last month.
Oh, wait. Okay.
The Black and Gold brand?
Here's my thing, Don Chuck. Here's my thing. Calm down. Who's with me, all right? Breathe, bro. Here's the thing. The talent is not bad.
But it's not better than the Black and Gold.
All right, the talent ain't bad. But, boy, the stories are shit. I had to think about it. I'm like, are we having a war? Are we gonna have a War Games in 2 weeks?
They're having a War Games in 2 weeks.
Are we even really gonna have a War Games in 2 weeks? Or are we just gonna have another DIY reunion? I guarantee you, DIY is gonna be one of those teams. Excuse me, DIY is going to be one of those teams. It's going to be on one of those two teams. Just call it into the universe.
I hear you, and I agree.
Let's call it. I call it right there.
I will say this. I think they're getting ready to give Braun Breaker that belt.
What?
I think they're getting ready to give it to him, man. The way that they're promoting him, he's in every NXT 2.0 package that they're showing right now.
I don't think. All right. Okay. It's either if they don't give him the belt, if they don't give him the NXT title, they're gonna send him to the main roster.
Well, I don't.
They're gonna send him to the main. He ain't ready for the main roster, damn it! But
they'd be throwing him into the deep waters just to get released.
Von Wagner, they threw him into. Now he's Adam Pearce's bodyguard for some sorts. Who else? Austin Theory.
But Austin, listen. And
Austin's like a touchy subject, bro, because it's just like, yes, he is, bro. He's years beyond his work, man. He's damn good. Austin Theory is damn good.
Listen, man, Austin Theory, and this is what I was gonna say. Shout out to my boy Ian. Ian, you know who you are. You know exactly who I'm talking to. My boy Ian, who's also a big pro wrestling fan. I worked with him much on the TV show Bull. Like I said, if you guys got to go. And again, a shameless social media plug at this point. Go and watch the Preludes, guys. Go and join our social media. Watch the Preludes, please. You guys will hear us talk a little bit. Like I said, there will be an About
See us on video right there.
There will be an About Me episode coming. I currently in my IATSE Local 52 Union Electrician. I work on film and movie sets all the time. Ian as well works in the industry. We were working on the television show Bull a couple years back. I worked on a couple seasons of that show on CBS. And we would talk about pro wrestling every day. He would constantly be at the Evolve shows. He actually is the one who introduced me to Evolve Wrestling, which is an old indie. It's no longer around currently to my knowledge. It was around.
No, they're just running old episodes on Peacock.
On Peacock, because Evolve was a developmental territory, right? They would send NXT stars there to wrestle, main roster stars to wrestle. Austin Theory was the Evolve World Heavyweight Champion for, I want to say, just over a year, close to 2 years, if not, before he got signed to NXT, before they shut down, right? And then he never even really wrestled on NXT television, right? He did the same thing, similar to like how Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo did. They would wrestle NXT matches, but none that were really taped or televised. Right. And I mean, you see what's going on for Deonna and Chelsea and all them right now, back out in the world doing what they're doing. You know, that didn't affect their stock. Austin Theory is leagues and bounds beyond where he should be. In my opinion, I think he's been wrestling a lot longer than many of us really even realize. And his gimmick is there. His gimmick is all the way there.
Here's my thing. I was thinking about his gimmick earlier. It's trendy as fuck. it was annoying. Here's my thing. I'm not a big fan of the whole selfie deal. But if there's one thing that they're getting right, if they want to appeal to a generation of new fans, they're getting it right with Austin Theory right now in WWE. He's 24 years old. So what are you going to do? Do as the Romans do. Let my man take his selfies. Very good plug-in last night with him going for the WWE Championship. I think it is a sign of what is to come.
Well, Vince has already announced, much like he did with Drew McIntyre in the past, that this is a future champion. With that being said, since we're already kind of chatting about the WWE stuff, let's continue with this WWE talk, guys. If you guys see down below, we are here, WWE talk. We're going to talk about Survivor Series. We're going to talk a little bit about Raw. As you guys heard my bro right here talk about, since we talked about Raw, we're going to continue with Raw, guys. So we're going to talk about Raw first. Then we're going to get into SmackDown. Series. So, we're kind of, to even continue this Austin Theory story, we're actually going to have to talk about the Survivor Series, right? If you guys watched the Survivor Series, you saw that Vince showed up with this nonsense-ass golden egg from The Rock's new movie, Red Notice. He made it.
Which, by the way, you can watch on Netflix. That's a cheap pop to you, Dwayne. You owe us.
Well, cheap pop to you, Dwayne. Guess what? The WWE did it for 4 hours and didn't deliver.
Go ahead, Don Sean. Finish.
Look, baby, if you're watching this, don't get mad at me for what I'm about to say. I'd rather be annoyed by all of my ex-girlfriends than ever be put through what we got put through with Survivor Series ever again. How the hell do you promote The Rock for over 4 hours for multiple weeks, nearly a month, and don't deliver The Rock? He doesn't even need to wrestle a match if you don't want him to get hurt because he's filming a movie. Just have his ass show up.
You could have had him even be a satellite.
You could have had him be the special guest referee for Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
Or Roman versus Big E. If you want to set up their match.
Survivor Series match.
Where actually he got his...
Or commentate.
But no. Dwayne was too busy.
Anyway. So Austin Theory, the egg goes missing on Survivor Series. Egg goes goodbye. Bye-bye, egg. Bye-bye. Egg goes goodbye.
And you know what? It had me shook because, damn it, I thought it was The Rock who took it.
I thought it was
The Rock who took it.
And I thought he did it for The Rock.
You know what? You fucking... Yo, bro. Okay.
But comes out Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn's getting interviewed by Vince. Next thing you know, Sami shows up with Austin Theory in the office. Austin's like, "Oh, Vince, I took it. I wanted to take a selfie with it. I didn't want to do it in the office. I took a selfie. Here's my selfie." Vince is like, haha, you get a title shot. What the fuck? The dude stole your $100 million egg.
My man gets a title shot for telling the truth, Don Sean. The truth shall set you free, and you shall be rewarded by the truth if there's anything Vincent Kennedy McMahon has taught us in the last 24 hours. Nobody likes a snitch, bro. Didn't you hear the song Snitches and Rats? Honestly, Don Sean. Honestly, have you not?
Austin gets this title shot. And
which he did great.
Dude,
he had a good showing.
This right here is why we're going to talk about Survivor Series and Raw simultaneously at this point. Because my notes, when I'm talking about the Survivor Series, about the main event, which was a great main event, guys. Roman Reigns and Big E was a great match. Do not get me wrong, guys. I know we ragged WWE, but again, I am a WWE fan. It is the original for me. It is something I still watch because of the nostalgia factor, because of what it means to me. I will not stop watching it. I hope it gets better. I pray it gets better. So I'm going to keep watching it until it gets better.
The more people they release, bro, I think WrestleMania is just going to feature Roman Reigns all for the next 2 years. At this point,
Roman Reigns is the whole roster, which is
Roman Reigns.
But
I'll say
Big E looks so strong in that match against Roman. So strong. Roman, who's been on a tear for 450 plus days at this point, right?
440. 450.
No, officially it was 448 days on the day of the
Survivor As a Survivor Series, yes. Yeah.
Monday Night Raw is 449. Today is 450. So 450 days, domination. He's been on a dominant streak, whether he stole some wins or whether he won some wins. He's
Well,
been
I'll
winning.
tell you right now, he's gonna surpass Lesnar's reign of 503. So
Well, of course, I think they're going to do that just to kind of because of what Brock's been doing the last few years with wanting to show up when he wants to show up. But Big E, WWE World Heavyweight Champion, looks strong, super strong in this match. And now the next night, you have Austin Theory looking stupid strong against Big E. What a great match. And I get it for the factor of you need a great match to be your main event.
But you need a future star too, Don Sean.
You need a future star.
You need a future star.
Secondly, and the 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, besides him eliminating Sheamus, Austin didn't really look super, super hot.
No, he didn't.
They didn't really make him look super, super strong.
And you're right about that. He didn't. He didn't look good. I mean, well, I'm not going to say he didn't look good. He wasn't even in much of the match for most of the time. Well,
so I'm saying, outside of eliminating Sheamus, there really wasn't much there for him.
Via traditional roll-up.
I mean, what's his name?
I call it
Simon Miller at What Culture Wrestling. What's his roll-up count at this year, guys? It's got to be in the 300.
Somebody look that up for us, please.
Look it up. Please. Drop it in the comments, guys. Again, if you are joining us on Facebook, please hit that thumbs up. Please hit that heart. Hit the share. If you guys are joining us on YouTube,
that like
hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. Hit the bell for the notifications. If you're joining us on Twitch, hit that follow. Join us on Twitter. Hit that retweet. Hit that follow. Guys, Survivor Series, Raw. 2 shows that were kind of all over the place. Overall, I like the shows, so I'm not going to sit here and bash the shows completely. But there's just so much all over the place right now happening with the WWE that a lot of it made no sense. I want to jump to the Survivor Series if that's cool with you, my brother. And to start,
we could get to the debacle. Oh yeah,
I would love to talk about the.
You know what I told you. You know what I told you last week, Don Sean. The art of Survivor Series is lost.
It is very lost, and I think
lost.
It was confirmed. I think it was confirmed with the women's 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. And I don't want to say this because I love women's wrestling. As many people,
I love Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair is amazing, right?
But I love Bianca Belair.
Going to speak on this, right, guys? Bianca, we're gonna spoil it right away. She was a sole survivor, but how she got there is where I'm upset.
That threw me off.
You start. Sorry, brother. What are you saying?
No. But to throw out 4 women literally in the span of, I'll say like 5 minutes.
Less than 6. I did a stopwatch.
Jesus.
Less than 6 minutes. 4 minutes and 42 seconds.
You got to look at it like this.
Guys.
Shayna Baszler, she wasn't a women's champion, but she should have been.
She's a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. She's the first 2 times Women's Champion for NXT. She is a Women's Tag Team Champion. A former MMA fighter. Whether she was good or not is not the point. She has legitimate striking ability, right? Shayna Baszler is one of the strongest female characters they still have left. She even made a note of it that she believes the world has forgotten just how strong she really is, just how vicious she could really be, right? Leading into there, why the fuck did her and Natalya do the job within 2 minutes of one another after one simpleton-ass slam? Again, Bianca Belair, huge fan, amazing year for her. The way she topped off.
Oh, she's had a boss-ass year, bro.
She has. Shout out to Sasha Banks. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted.
No pun intended to Sasha
all
Banks.
All pun intended to me because Sasha passed that boss shit on to Bianca when she dropped the belt to her. So
very true.
All pun intended. But with that being said, guys, in the beginning of the match, it kind of gets going, kind of slows down, kind of gets going again. To me, where the match really, really begins, and you guys will see if you watch the Survivor Series and watch this match, you'll see what I'm talking about, is when Bianca and Sasha get back in the ring with one another. And they start their exchanges. I mean, what I really hate right now about WWE television and their women's wrestling division is how choreographed and how much you can see everything coming. And the worst part about it is the camera angles that they keep giving these women because they keep catching them, calling their cues. And it's really not the women's fault. It's not the wrestlers' fault that
it's not the wrestlers' fault.
And the production tent are not catching the cameras quick enough So to stop this.
Oh no,
Because it's
but they do
outrageous to me.
but they do 30 camera cuts in like God knows how many seconds.
It's outrageous to me because you saw Sasha tell Bianca after she just did a powerful slam on her, "Oh my God, I love you for that. Thank you so much. That was awesome." Are you kidding me? Why are you catching that on camera? Because you know what? And I agree with what Chris Jericho said. You know, the one thing he'll never call wrestling is fake. Yes, it is a show. Yes, it is a predetermined outcome. Yes, it is rehearsed. But no, it is not fake. The risk they take is not fake. Getting hit with
What
chairs,
goes
those are
on
not rubber
within
chairs. Those are not fake tables. These are not fake garbage cans. These are all real things. Yes, they have prop kendo sticks sometimes and some
nah,
stuff. That's more so WWE than anywhere else. But
what goes on in a 20-foot by 20-foot ring is real.
you guys got it, and under that mat, and any of these stagehands that work with me knows, with the people who have worked in the Barclays Center with me, the Prudential Center, and other arenas, shout out to all the locals I've worked for. No, when we're building that ring, it is wood, it is steel, it is real pieces. It is not something that is like, oh, let's get 10 inches of mat. No, man, it's like a 2-inch, 3-inch wrestling mat, like a real amateur wrestling mat. So go ahead, pick your friends up and start slamming each other around on these wrestling mats at your high school,
Right,
at your
Tiger?
gym, at your college, wherever you want to do. If you go to the gym and you guys see those like fake diamond plate rubber mats, start slamming yourself on those. You'll understand what I'm talking about and what it really feels like. It is not
It
fake.
hurts like
So the
hell.
fact that they're burying their women's division with all these terrible production and all this terrible choreography is really, really hurting me. Because
And all these releases.
you saw Liv's roll up coming every single time. Every single time. She foreshadowed it so much. It was crazy, right? But let me get back to this, guys. Bianca Belair. So it starts off Bianca and Sasha. To me, that was the true beginning of the match, right? Carmella gets instantly buried. A former women's champion, a multi-time women's champion.
Who, mind you, just became a women's tag team champion the following night with Queen Zelina Vega, bro.
Rhea Ripley was one of the strongest people in this match. How the fuck does Rhea Ripley drop the belts to Queen Zelina and Carmella? Okay, did the right team win? A lot of people on social media that was looking around today, they felt like they did. The right team won. The right team won. Okay, yes, we're starting to give Queen Zelina some steam finally after you guys released her, then brought her back. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it's cool. But guess what, WWE? There's still such a thing called storytelling. And me as a fan, I'm still invested in the stories. You're not giving me something to invest in with this.
Don Sean, I'm not going to lie to you. The right team won the men's Survivor Series match. The wrong team won the women's Survivor Series match. I think SmackDown should have really, really won that match because who the hell's going to face? Who's going to face Charlotte? Who's going to face Charlotte?
You're up 4-1.
Anybody who won the match for that team could have claimed rights to face the Charlotte next for that title. Who can you throw?
The only person I think on SmackDown who still even has the right to wrestle Charlotte left in this
Don't even say Sasha Banks. Don't say it.
It's Sasha Banks.
Don't say, God damn it, don't show it. Why would you?
And you know Bayley when she comes back.
Oh well, we're still. Bayley's a free agent.
She can go to either show. She's a free agent.
You know what? I thought you meant free agent in terms of like, nah, sorry.
Oh,
anyway,
nah. Because then if that was the
probably
case,
could happen in the next few months anyway.
Nah, God only knows. But yeah, I mean, that was the running joke. I mean, you saw in the text message in the group chat when I was like, I heard the winning team gets released first. But guys, I really still want to talk about this, right? Bianca Belair with the 4-1 deficit, she comes back, right? And these are the questions.
And don't get me wrong. We've seen like
that was crazy.
Right. I'm like, nice little comeback. But anyway, but we've seen like the 4-1 comebacks back in the day. We've seen people come back and win the Survivor Series matches. It's just in the fashion that it's done. You would expect like a little bit more like.
I will tell you this. I thought Vince Russo was back in the creative room with this. I really did. That's what it felt like to me. This felt like some shit like Vince Russo saying, "Hey, let's give
What?
David." This felt like Vince Russo saying, "Hey, let's give David Arquette the WCW championship today." That's literally what it felt like. Like, hey guys, so let's bring her back from a 4-1 deficit. How are we gonna do that? Let's get Sasha counted out, even though she slid her ass almost all. She was literally all the way in the ring when the ref counted from 5 to 6. She was literally all the way in the ring. So number one, that's a botch on the ref. There's also a terrible angle from the camera because the camera showed us that she was all the way in the ring. Guess what happens when you're all the way in the ring, guys? The count gets broken.
The count stops, yeah.
But guess what? She enters the ring 3 more times. Only 2 times she was halfway in to get pulled back out, and now she's counted out. Okay, so Sasha's counted out. Guess what that was? That shit was corny, guys. Now, Natalya and Shayna. Natalya, probably the longest tenured women in WWE still left to this point.
The GWAT. The greatest
This
woman
woman,
of all time.
She knows so much.
The GWAT.
And Corey Graves said it best. She's forgotten more about this business than any of the women on the roster could ever learn.
Facts.
Right? Why is she doing the job after a simpleton powerbomb style slam? She gets pinned. Shayna, the same. And now we have Shotzi, who was Shotzi Blackheart for a very long time. And now all of a sudden, Shotzi.
Just release her. Just get ready to release her, bro. I had it.
I had it done, Sean.
What?
Had it.
What?
Had
okay,
it.
you want to if you want to strengthen Shotzi, guys. But to bury Shayna, Natalya, and this is the thing. This is what I said. This is what I said, bro. And I told you this, St. Polo. I told you this probably in the prelude. Again, shameless social media plug, guys. Catch right there and go and watch the preludes. Go and watch the other episodes. I told you guys this. WWE does things and then just thinks we forget the very next moment.
Bro, I feel like they do these things to piss us off and just so we can just talk and just it's just give them all the energy that we have.
They do this stuff because of what Roman Reigns said, and never more do I understand and agree and believe than now. They're not looking for the hardcores, they're looking for the casuals. They're looking for the person who's going to come on, they're going to touch in, tap in, and be like, oh wow, what is this? Oh, this is wrestling. Oh, cool. Wrestling's still on. Oh, wow. Who are these new guys? Okay, let me watch a couple and then disappear. Guys, that's not me. That's not him. And you guys could obviously tell by how impassioned we are by this, right? Their storytelling is not there anymore. They're doing things day to day. Okay, you bury Queen Zelina. You bury Carmella. They're the first 2 eliminated from the match, guys, essentially. And guess what? They're the new tag team champions. So
the follow, bro, Sean, 24 hours later. And they span a 20. You go by getting just mollywopped by Bianca Belair.
I mean, even in my notes, guys, I'll tell you, Zelina and Carmella wins women's tag team titles. 6 question marks I wrote, guys. Where the hell did this come from? Especially
you need more question marks. You need more question marks in that, bro.
In a Survivor Series match. Where did it come from?
You need more question marks.
Another thing I wrote in regards to, because this is the last time I say about the Bianca Belair situation, is what the fuck does this mean for Bianca? Does this mean she's going to be the next to challenge for the title after Liv?
No, because I'm about to say because Liv Morgan is next.
Most likely,
unless you do some scrupulous thing such as Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan, and winner gets to face Becky Lynch.
Well, listen, no, I wouldn't put that past WWE. They put the number one.
No, we don't want that.
I wouldn't put it past WWE because WWE has done it many times in the past. They've done the number 1 contender spot on the line many a time. So I don't know why. I don't care to know why. That's just what they do. Does she look strong? Was it? And this was another question I asked myself. Right? Was it a legitimate strengthening of the Bianca Belair character? Hell no. You
don't think so?
I don't think so.
You don't think given even the fact that they wanted to do a 4-1 combat
strengthening for me because of who she beat in the final. Had it been the other way around, with it being Sasha being the last person, I would then legitimize that. I could legitimize
because believe it or not, I think I had missed the part where Sasha got eliminated. I thought once Bianca got the win off of Shotzi, that Sasha was just going to come back and just do a roll-up or get her in a bank statement of some sort, and then, SmackDown wins. once I heard that Sasha got counted out, I'm like, did that really? You really wasted a WrestleMania like rematch. Like what could have been like a nice little good 5-10 minute Soul Survivor kind of deal between Sasha and Bianca, just so Bianca Belair could be the Soul Survivor, being down a 4-1 deficit.
Yeah, to me, it was a legitimate strengthening of her character. I mean, look,
The art of Survivor Series is lost.
Talked about that, guys.
I feel like, bro. I mean, I'll tell you right now. Nothing tops Dolph Ziggler's comeback from 2014.
Listen,
as
man,
of right
Dolph
now,
Ziggler,
like
Dolph Ziggler,
nothing. Like even though he was unsuccessful in 2003, Shawn Michaels coming back from 3-1, from 3-1. There's when you think about Survivor Series, you think about the traditional matches, you think about the moments like that.
Without a doubt.
Not a lot of moments like that anymore. There's not a lot.
This thing though, man, it's like, you know, a 3-hour pay-per-view from WWE in my childhood meant a lot to what was happening. You know?
Absolutely.
You got quality matches in that period of time. You got about 17-minute matches because in the meantime you had people walking out. And you had a lot. You had like, you know, 6 to 9 matches per show. You know, and I mean, look, and you heard me talking about it in the group chat again, all the plugs, Pizza Hut, all these commercial, all these advertisements. I mean, I get it. This is a money machine and all that, but like, come on, man. I'm not here for this reality TV stuff. I'm not here for these commercials. If I wanted to watch commercials, I'd watch regular TV.
They bring back Vince McMahon 2 nights in a row just so you can get some ratings.
It's crazy.
Ain't that life, people?
Like,
ain't that life?
It's nuts.
And you know, I'm Don Sean. I don't know about you. I want to get to some wrestling. I want to get to some real wrestling.
Let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about?
I want to get to some wrestling. All right, because in the world that we live in, I think it is time that we focus on what's real. What's real is the news, man. So in my news today, I have the most, you know, poignant form of news that I could find outside of the WWE release. I'm tired of talking about WWE. Tired of the releases. We could talk about the releases though, because you know, outside of the releases, we're gonna have people go to other companies, and you know, but still, you know, outside of that, I feel like we don't talk about Impact Wrestling a lot on this show, Don Sean. I want to give a tip of the hat to them. They just had their Turning Point pay-per-view the other night, and then during the show, they announced that at Hard to Kill, their next pay-per-view in January, they're going to have the first ever the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match.
That's
now
insane.
Think about when I saw the news, I was like, my God, what? Who in the hell could be in this match? Which knockout could really stand out in an Ultimate X match in Impact Wrestling? I mean, don't get me wrong. The field, like Rosemary. you have a chance to really like this field, this crop of women that you have. Good Lord, bro, you really have like potential.
And they're getting more and more every day. They're getting more and more every day. And like you said, we do not mention Impact enough. We do mention Impact, guys. We do not mention it enough. There's a lot of great things happening. We did mention some results last week. Not too many, though. But my bro here, he's got the news for you guys. He's got this first ever women's Ultimate X match. I know this is going to be insane. I mean, between
and the winner gets to face the winner of Mickie James and Deonna Purrazzo in their rematch.
And I think Deonna gets the belt back with that. I think this was a short run for Mickie just to give her the accolade. She got her defense against Madison Rayne. She got the defense against Mercedes Martinez. That's two defenses that legitimizes the reign after beating a very dominant Deonna Purrazzo.
I think this is it. I think this is it. Whoever wins the Ultimate X, kudos to them. They deserve the title. Shoot, let me tell you something. You know, do you remember the Ultimate X matches from back in the day?
Yeah, I do. But the big thing about this is we got to remember that Impact also did just sign Masha Slamovich and Lady Frost. I mean, it's not like they're out here. Like, they haven't even shown you them yet, really, on Impact Television outside of their matches with Deanna. But these women bring it. If you guys are not familiar, you guys need to check out at Real Lady Frost on Instagram, at Masha Slamovich. I mean, Masha just put on a crazy show with legit Layla Hirsch not too long ago in a match. But these are just two up and coming women who could possibly be knockout or women's champions elsewhere. Come soon, man. Very beast.
Who could knock down either Mickey James or Deanna Purrazzo.
Absolutely.
Bank on it. But outside of that, I mean, literally, Impact is just on a roll. Trey Miguel successfully defending the X Division champion. Can't say much about Trey. Literally,
can't say enough about
can't say enough. Can't say enough about him, man. Special cat. Followed him since he was in Rockstar Pro back in the day with Jake Christ and Sammy Callahan, and actually was working with the I guess where they go by Wesley and oh my gosh, Nash Carter. I usually remember him as Zachary Wentz back in Impact and back in the Indies. So it's to see him stand out and be on his own and then have this title. Hopefully he holds it going into the option C route in terms of where he makes the decision to go for the world title. Does Impact give him that shrug? I think they give him that rub. I think they do. It's eventually going to happen.
I think it's really bound to happen, right? Speaking of Trey Miguel, and this is something we're definitely going to get into when we talk about Warrior Wrestling. I mean, he's going to be defending the Warrior Wrestling.
He's the current Warrior Wrestling champion.
And he's going to be defending that against Will Ospreay. And
who is the current IWGP? He's the current IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
He's the illegitimate current.
Yeah. You know what, Don Shaw? You know what?
IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Stop your shit.
Speaking of that too, man, we'll get to that later on in the show. But Trey Miguel will be defending his Warrior Wrestling belt against All Heart Blake Christian and the Sniper of the Skies. I mean, these guys are monsters, right? I know that was Robbie Eagles' thing, but when Will Ospreay and Robbie Eagles were a tag team, the Birds of Prey thing they did, I was so into Will being more so the Sniper of the Skies, so I say. But back to the Impact stuff, man. Trey Miguel, just even some of his work, if you guys saw, today, there was some throwbacks put up about some of his indie work, and just Trey Miguel is a great talent. How he hasn't landed elsewhere is beyond me. How guys haven't sit here and thrown those huge money contracts at him is beyond me. The dude is a superstar. His wrestling style is amazing. Is amazing, man. And
let me tell you something, John Shaw. Let me tell you something. He is going to put Impact on the map. Mark my words. If he hasn't already, he will be one of the pillars of Impact going forward.
The new Impact.
If he chooses to stay there, he could be one of those guys that Scott D'Amore looks at I'm gonna roll with this dude as my guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should, and it makes sense for him to get the belt from somebody like Moose, who they're building to be the super champion right now. Moose, who's actually going around, he defended his title at Turning Point, and he's going
just
around.
Successfully defeated Eddie Edwards in a Full Metal Mayhem.
And if you guys know, Eddie Edwards has been in the title picture a lot. He was in the title picture when Tessa Blanchard held the belt, when Brian Cage held the belt, Sammy Callahan held the belt. And I mean, to those people, those might be the dark times of Impact, but, for those of us who watch wrestling and see, it's just the evolution and the growth. He's still there. So that is what it is. Moose will be defending his belt. And that's the thing with Moose, man. Moose defends his belt on the Indies. He defends the Impact World Heavyweight Championship on the Indies, guys. I want you guys to hear that.
Did he not defend it at a Battle of the Valley? Not too long ago, the New Japan?
He did. He defended against Juice Robinson, but he's defending it at another independent show. Obviously, we know New Japan is a major promotion, but the point of that being is that Moose believes himself that wherever he goes, wherever he's booked, he will defend this Impact Wrestling Championship. He is the man. To me, that is huge for Impact too, because now you know, these smaller shows are getting such a major, whether it is to many people or not, it is a major belt. It is a major company. It was at one
And
point.
let me tell you something. Moose doing this, not to cut you off, but Moose doing this, he's literally uplifting the legitimacy of that Impact world. Don't get me wrong. Kenny Omega did it when he held the title. But now
Yeah, it
it's
was
just
different.
like
He just
going
held the
from
title.
right, he just held it, but going from Kenny to Christian to Josh Alexander for like 10 15 seconds, and now going to Moose, it's the fact that okay, I think Moose is growing into himself because you remember you said you're an ROH guy. Do you remember Moose in the Ring of Honor?
Yeah, of course. And I wasn't really a huge fan of Moose in Ring of Honor. I won't lie to you. I didn't think his career was going to go very far when I saw him in Ring of Honor.
Well, look at him now,
I
Don
liked his
Sean.
matches, and I can say that. I sat here and I ate my words. You know, when Moose was in Ring of Honor, I was significantly younger than I am now.
Yeah.
I don't, and this is another thing that I was going to say too, guys, about my opinion specifically. As I've gotten older, I've been able to decipher the storytelling a lot better than I could as a child. I've been able to decipher the wrestling a lot better than I could as a younger adult. With that all being said, I didn't understand at the time Moose's topics of conversation and his promos. Moose is a very intelligent and articulate man, and for me, when he cuts a promo, at the highest of vocabulary, at the highest of levels, right? So,
like Bane of some sort. Like my man just
almost,
Bane.
yeah, or yeah, man, for sure. Honestly, he really is, and you know, the Moose I'm hearing now, I can believe everything he's saying, and this is the difference, right? And the Moose that I heard in Ring of Honor, for me, it wasn't all believable.
Worlds apart.
It wasn't all believable, but
Definitely
it's
worlds
very,
apart.
very believable now. So, with that being said, I'm all for it. I'm all for what Moose brings to the table, right?
I am all for his title reign because I know when Josh Alexander takes it again, it's going to be even more. It's a legitimate title switch.
Yeah,
And
well, when Josh Alexander gets it, they're going to legitimize his title reign for sure because they know what they did to him. Just kind of.
I mean, I don't know how long Josh Alexander going to be out for, but my man Jonah made a splash like none other.
I mean, first New Japan and now Impact.
Then showing up in Impact, I'm telling you right now, Top Dog gonna be a problem. Wherever he may roam, wherever that man roams, Top Dog is going to be an issue.
I 100% agree. Continuing with Turning Point, I mean, the Good Brothers defeat Chris Bay and Hikuleo.
Yes.
You know, New Bullet Club versus OG Bullet Club in a sense, right?
Very much. It very much was a good match. Clash of styles.
It was a good match. More so with the Chris Bay and Carl Anderson aspect of it all. You know, if we watched that Luke Gallows and Hikuleo match kind of in a singles thing,
singles competition before, yeah,
that week earlier, you know, so their kind of interactions weren't as exciting to me in the Turning Point match, only because we just watched it on Impact on Access. But great match, you know. The Good Brothers, since entering Impact Wrestling, have held those titles. It doesn't seem they took them from the Motor City Machine Guns, and it doesn't seem like they're going to give them up anytime soon. They got a stranglehold on those things.
I feel like they have a stranglehold until like a tag team of, I don't know. I'm not going to say a legitimacy comes in to take it from them, but I feel like a tag team worthy. I mean, you could give it to Finn Juice again, but that can only go right. That can only go but so far. So I feel like their tag team division is only
right now.
The tag team division is getting a little bit stronger. So I feel like the Good Brothers will hold it for like another until at least Hard to Kill. I think Hard to Kill, they will have a legitimate contender.
I think so too. I think they need one by Hard to Kill because at this point we're gonna start questioning. All right, what's next for these guys? You know,
I mean, and let me tell you, with the way the wrestling world is opening up, I wouldn't mind seeing the Briscoes on a Gold Rush.
My guy, you already knew what team's name was in the back of my head.
I wouldn't mind
on my tongue.
Dude, I wouldn't mind seeing the Briscoes on a Gold. They already got the GCW Tag Team Champions. Why not go for the Impact Tag titles?
Well, they're wrestling for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships at Final Battle against the OGK.
guarantee you they're winning that. So they'll close out the ring of. They'll close out.
Well, they just gave the OGK the tag team titles at the last thing, so I doubt. Right. I don't know. I doubt they will.
Stranger things have happened, Dosh.
Stranger things have happened. I mean, speaking of which, Dalton Castle picked back up the Ring of Honor television title on Ring of Honor TV this week.
Exactly.
Mandy Leon beat Allison Kay and Willow in a triple threat match where she did almost nothing. And now she has a chance to win a number one contenders shot for the Women of Honor's title against Roxy, right? But that's just, that's just is what it is there. The Briscoes, though, I would love to see come to Impact. I would love to see go to AEW. There was talks that they were supposed to be doing the whole AEW thing, and that they were slated to be backstage last week, in which they weren't. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. Something I definitely want to 100% touch on is this Warrior Wrestling card. If we can, let's talk about it, man. I mean,
absolutely.
What a strong card, guys. I mean, if you guys look down, we're talking about Warrior Wrestling 17, which is coming up. We already announced the main event, triple threat match, Trey Miguel versus Will Ospreay versus Blake Christian. A match we really didn't know we needed to end the year, guys. That is my strong opinion. Jesus. Will Ospreay, that my boy right here said, he is the 5th IWGP heavyweight champion, right? He never lost
the only.
He calls himself
only
the
one
true
we
champion.
acknowledge.
As we all know, we're going to find out at Wrestle Kingdom. As we found out, night 1 will be Shingo versus Kazuchika. Night 2 will be the winner versus Will Ospreay, which will most likely be Kazuchika, because they just announced night 3 of Wrestle Kingdom will be a joint New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah show. Noah is a Japanese promotion that is huge in Japanese strong style and strikes and really stiff wrestling, if you guys are not familiar. And Kazuchika is one of the faces that are on the poster promoting that night. So I won't lie to you. I feel like they're kind of telling us from the rip, Kazuchika's taking all the belts home.
What makes you so sure that a Kazuchika Okada is going to take all the belts home, Don Sean?
The fact that he's on the night 3 headline poster. I really hope not. I truly hope not, because Kazuchika has been one of the main champions for New Japan the last 8 years, especially. I hope they give Will the chance to carry it.
And my man made he politicked to become a heavyweight. Y'all not gonna take this moment from my man's like this. Y'all not gonna take this moment. Exactly. Y'all not gonna take this moment from him.
To me, this is the match we needed to end the year for Warrior Wrestling Championship. And then we also have Aramis versus Flamita for the Warrior Wrestling Lucha title. That's going to be an insane match, too. These guys are beasts, both of them, if you guys have been kind of paying attention to them. Fuego de Sol is going to wrestle Carlos Roma. Fuego's Fuego, right? To me, that's gonna be, I mean,
what you got against my man Fuego del Sol?
He's been getting a lot better. He's been getting a lot better tagging with Cody, for sure.
Hey, don't do that.
Two Fuego.
Hey,
sorry,
that's
two
right.
Fuego.
Hey, sir, Fuego 2. Fuego 2.
Fuego 2.
Don Sean, come on now. We can get sued for that.
Dante Martin. He's like, come on, don't get a suit.
Bro, like calling Cody some unknown man named Fuego 2. Like, come on now. Cody Rhodes has more standards than that. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue to call Warrior Wrestling. Go ahead.
Dante Martin versus Bandito. Dude, Bandito, Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Dante Martin, up and coming superstar at this point in his career already. With all the AEW television title matches he's had, putting up some of the biggest fights against some of their best guys. To me, this is going to be a high-flying, show-stealing match that the whole entire community did not know we need. And I'm here for it. As many people will tell you, again, if you guys look at our Instagram, shameless social media plug, you will see our first ever Top Rope Tuesday post was a live video we recorded of Bandito doing a double moonsault press with two guys, Dragon Lee and Taiji Ishimori. It was insane.
I know.
What are you saying?
Oh no, I know we're talking about Warrior Wrestling, but my God, Dante Martin. I know we're about to get to Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez, but Dante Martin, can't say enough about him either.
We can't say enough about him. I mean, him and Leo Rush just picked up a big tag team victory.
It just pains me because it's like, where will Darius fly in all of this once he gets back?
Well,
that is what
he is a heavyweight champion on the Indies right now somewhere, and Darius, it seems like he's slowly working his way back. Dante's story has to continue. Top Flight, I don't know what's going to happen with them.
I won't lie. Flight is right. I will tell you a plot twist, so once we get to AEW stuff, but continue with Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez, please. I will tell you, I promise I will leave the plot twist.
Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez for the Warrior Wrestling Women's Champion. Current champion is Thunder Rosa. Mercedes Martinez. Both of these women are veterans in the game. Two of the best women's wrestlers for sure.
Thunder Rosa has a busy week ahead of her.
Yes, very busy week.
Quite a busy week.
Yeah.
Yeah. She faces it.
But it's a good thing that. So, guys, this Warrior Wrestling card occurs December 12th. To be specific, guys, this occurs December 12th, so you guys know. This card is also featuring Rocky Romero versus Casey Navarro, Brody King versus Sam Adonis, and Chelsea Green versus Sky Blue. Chelsea's been killing it since she's been released. Sky Blue, an up-and-coming star, also wrestles in AEW Dark Elevation a lot. She's gaining a lot of popularity amongst the wrestling community lately. So it's going to be interesting to see with that. I personally think that Chelsea should go over just because of all she's doing with the GCW and everything that they have going on. But yeah, guys, that's me.
With Matt Cardona.
Warrior Wrestling. Yeah, Matt Cardona's a beast. He's funny. Everything he's saying about her on social media.
Best work in his career right now.
The Chelsea 469 shirt was probably the funniest shit I've seen this year. Without a doubt. But we're done here talking about Warrior Wrestling. I'm going to pull up our shameless plug. It is definitely shameless. So again, guys, you're here. You're joining us. Talking Elite episode 3 with Don Sean and Bro St. Polo. And I actually have something super special to announce for you guys right now. We've been
wait, what?
We've been talking about it. But
an announcement?
It officially goes live.
Wait, did you tell me about this?
Yes.
Did you tell me about this?
Yes. It officially goes live after the end of this episode, guys. I will be posting it on our Instagram. So one last time, shameless social media plug. Pay attention, guys, because guess what the hell is about to happen, guys? Boom.
Hey, we're too generous for this, bro. Supreme Air Max 96.
We are giving away
just in time for the holidays.
Pair of Supreme Air Max 96, guys. Dead stock, size 10.5 for the holidays. Anybody can enter. Man, woman, they are size 10.5. It is a predetermined size. The receipt is in the box. Everything's in the box. They were bought at the Supreme store by my hands many months ago. They are a giveaway. They're not my size.
We're just some generous people in the penthouse, man.
They did not fit me. So, guys, I will be giving them away. Ladies, enter for your men. Men, enter for your ladies. Enter for yourself, whoever, whatever.
Enter for the children.
There are some clear spots in here. If you guys Google images of the shoe, you'll see a lot of people wearing it with red socks, with black socks, with some bold color socks. Again, guys, this giveaway will be going live at the very end of the show. So please tune in. Join us on our social medias. Again, I'm going to put them up right there for you guys. On Instagram, at The Talking Elite Show.
How long do they have for this, Don Sean?
Elite Show. Guys, this is a giveaway for Thanksgiving, Black Friday, just in time for the holidays. So it is November 24th today. It is now Wednesday. If you guys are catching us, you remember this show airs live at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays. I will be ending this giveaway on Sunday. This coming Sunday, let me find out the exact date of this Sunday for you guys because I'm not very the best right now at math.
28th?
This Sunday, the 28th, I will be ending it, and I will be ending at 8 p.m., and I will be announcing the winner Monday morning, the 29th. We are
Wait a
giving.
minute, John. Let's go off the fly with this. I want to give a little bit more leeway to our constituents. Why don't we do it Monday, end it Monday, and then announce it on Talking Elite Tuesday?
Let's do it. We can do that.
I kind of think we could do that. Like we should have a live drawing.
You guys see it right there. You guys see me poking out to the side. Follow us on Instagram. Join in. Supreme Air Max 96 giveaway, guys.
Giveaway
this week.
Only in the penthouse, bro. We're some generous people, Don Sean. I swear to goodness.
And guys, that's not the last giveaway for the holiday season.
Oh wait, what?
There will be some pre-ordered. Unfortunately, I double pre-ordered some AEW figures, so there will be 2 figures that do get given away. It depends on when they show up. Until they show up, I do not have the authority to show you guys and officially announce it. But one last time, boom, 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 boom. I'll put it up and take it down. Put it up.
Free giveaway. Free giveaway. Free giveaway. Free money. Free money. Free money.
Talking Elite Supreme Air Max 96 giveaway, guys. Appreciate the work I did on this flyer, please. But guys, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna kind of get into our final words. I know my bro St. Polo has some AEW talk he wants to chat with you guys about. I just wanted to say once again, thank you guys so much. If you guys have joined us for Talking Elite Episode 3 live, again, this is the live happening. If you guys join us after the fact, please continue to like, continue to share, continue to follow, guys. We appreciate you building the community with us. Again, Don Sean and Bro St. Polo, guys. You guys see it right here. We present a different perspective, guys. This is fans. These are people who have spent their life watching wrestling, wanting to chat with you. Combat sports, wanting to chat with you, who have competed, who have trained, who've been around the people who train. Thank you guys again. Talking Elite, Episode 3, final words, Bro St. Polo. Tell them what you got.
I mean, nothing else to look forward to but Dynamite tomorrow, guys. It's a Dynamite Thanksgiving. They're live in Chicago. They got a lot going on. We got Bryan Danielson reigniting his old rivalry with Colt Cabana. We got Cody Rhodes and Death Triangle taking on FTR and the Don Sean. What would you describe this alliance between Andrade El Idolo and Malachi Black? This unholy alliance.
I think it's something we didn't know we wanted to see.
Really, facts.
I
can definitely get with that.
Seeing
it's something I didn't know we needed.
Like maybe we all kind of drifted, like especially for those of us who watched the NXT. Again, Malachi and Andrade are both former NXT champions as well. They feuded over the belt multiple times themselves.
Black was the one who got the title from Andrade to begin with.
That's what I was saying. So that's something I think we walked into them, seeing them going into AEW, thinking that hey, they're gonna feud. Because it's already something that's already been established. Tony Khan switches it up on us, man. So you have, isn't it? So it's FTR, right? And Malachi
FTR.
And Andrade.
What a team! What a foursome right there.
I mean, just the 8-man tag team, and then against Death Triangle and fucking Cody, right?
Cody Rhodes, right?
Brothers, Pac, and fucking, that's just that's insane.
That's just a mega match right there. I mean, like I said, AEW can't say enough about those guys over there right now, but they're doing the damn thing for pro wrestling. And also, guys, be on the lookout. Stay tuned. December the 15th, winter is coming. They are going to announce the official rules for the Owen Hart Cup, which is coming up in 2022.
That is right, guys. Winter is coming. They announced that is their winter special episode. Guys, because remember, AEW does 4 major pay-per-views a year. They do 2 specials between Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen, and then they do multiple Dynamite specials, right? Blood and Guts, Winter is coming, et cetera, with those.
And they'll have a few more coming in 2022, guaranteed.
Absolutely. They're going to have special rampages at this point coming up as well. But, man.
Just make it 2 hours, bro. They keep spoiling us. Yo, Tony Khan, my guy.
Well, Tony Khan's been very clear on the fact that he doesn't plan on changing the time slot of Rampage anytime soon. That they're
killing
doing
me, Tony.
Well. That they're doing
killing
great.
me, TK.
Some of the best ratings for the time slot against their competitors. So they're going to do what they do.
You're killing me,
AEW continues
TK.
to deliver great
You're
wrestling
killing me.
matches.
But
Unfortunately, again, some more
that's
news.
all
kind
we
of
want
peaking.
as fans. That's
That's
all we want as fans. And like to cut it up, to bring it to full circle. Thursday's Thanksgiving. Part of the reason why I was getting ready because I'm about to make a bomb ass dinner, Don Sean. I wish you were here to celebrate with me. But anyway, I'm very thankful for a few things. To go into our last segment for tonight. I'm thankful for Tony Khan giving us great pro wrestling this year. I am thankful for Tony Khan bringing back CM Punk. Even though I am more thankful for CM Punk bringing back CM Punk, but you get what I mean.
I'm thankful for Twitter bringing back CM Punk, and I think that's the only time I'll ever say in my life I'm thankful for Twitter. That place is a toxic ass place, but Jesus, for the last 2 years, Twitter has gone crazy trying to bring CM Punk back, and oh my God, were we successful? Again, just like you, I'm also thankful for Tony Khan and AEW. I'm thankful for Cesar Duran's announcement with his open door. I'm thankful for Jay Lethal getting signed to AEW. And I won't lie, I read something today that I wasn't sure if I was going to speak on, but I think I do want to speak on it. Jonathan Gresham, man, and you guys have heard me talk about him too. He stated that he's going to remain loyal to Ring of Honor despite whatever happens with them coming. He's not going to sign with any other major promotion. Respect to you, and that's why he calls himself the Foundation.
The Foundation.
And that's it.
Boy, with that announcement.
That was tough, man. It's tough to hear as a huge Jonathan Gresham fan because I know there's so much out there for him.
I'll tell you what, though.
Tweeted at Jordan Grace, "Oh, do you think Impact would sign him?" And she had mentioned how they're afraid to work in the same company together because it seems that couples when they're working get released, right? I mean, look at Taya and John and a lot of people, right? Chelsea Matt.
You know what? Taya and John is almost a formality, Don Sean. You can't mention them like that.
I'm gonna say this. I'm excited to see Taya become Taya again. I'm excited for whatever.
She ain't gonna be no damn Frankie Monet. I tell you that much, Don Sean.
What the fuck was that? And what the hell was the bougie ass gimmick they gave her?
Yeah, she ain't gonna be no Frankie Monet. I'm ready to see Johnny Drip Drip become Johnny Elite.
Johnny Mundo, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny gimmick name, whoever.
Yeah, Johnny Impact, Johnny
or wherever.
Johnny Swinger, call it what you will. I'm ready to see John Morrison become John Morrison.
I'm ready to see John Morrison become John Hennigan and just win his belts.
That's it. All he'll do is win. Most of all, last but not least, thankful for you, my man. Thankful for you, Don Sean.
Thankful for you, my brother, taking this journey
Appreciate
here
you,
with me.
Boy.
Guys,
yes, sir.
This has been Talking Elite, episode 3. Stay tuned, guys. Social media. Stay tuned to our social medias. Our last social media plug of the night definitely happening right now. Guys, I have a super secret major announcement.
Oh, wait a minute. Don Sean, you just can't cut off like that. We're still live, bro. What is going on? Anyway, I don't know what the super secret major announcement is, guys. I apologize. But still, we're going to, I think Don Sean just, oh, well, all right. Well, I guess I will sign off for Don Sean. For Don Sean himself, this is Brother St. Polo, wishing you all a happy, safe, healthy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your time. We love you guys here on Talking Elite. We thank you guys for listening to us. We'll see you guys here next week. And for those who don't remember, think elite, be elite, sleep elite. I don't know how Don Sean says it like that. But most importantly, talk elite. Guys, we'll see you guys next week. We appreciate you guys for listening. Don Sean, I don't know where you went. I don't know where you're going, lad. Oh, well, I just got a message from Don Sean, but we're gonna wrap it up here. If the big announcement does come, we're gonna release it on our social media pages, guys. We'll release the super secret announcement that Don Sean has on any of our social media platforms. So be on the lookout for that. We appreciate you guys for listening. Wait a minute. Don Sean's popping back in. Don Sean, do you want to give your announcement before we go off the air? I was about to go off the air, bro. I was
Whoa.
literally about to go up the air.
Guys.
I was about to go off the air, bro.
Holy.
Holy jeez, get a load of this guy here.
Guys, I thought I got rid of the technical difficulties in the prelude episode. I guess not, guys. Like I said, I got a super secret announcement. Stay tuned for our social medias. I'm going to get out of here before I get kicked out again. Somehow, some way. Just stay tuned, guys. We have 2 up-and-coming superstars that are going to join our show coming soon, guys. I promise you. You guys will love the episode. And then we also have a special guest returning, and he did exactly what he said he's gonna do, and that's all I'm gonna leave it at, guys. You can catch us ASAP anywhere. Special
ASAP, no Rocky, bro.
Happening this weekend, guys, and I'll let you know. Maybe we'll air it live, maybe we'll record it and air it in the next episode, but I will let you guys know. Stay tuned to our social media. Until then, guys, I'm your boy, the Don Sean.
And I'm your boy, Brother St. Polo, and you're not.
And remember, guys, it is always a great time to be elite. It is always a great time to think elite. It is always a great time to dream elite. But there's never been a better time to talk elite.
Elite. Talk to us.
Have a great night, guys. We hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Have a safe Black Friday to any of you guys who will be out there Black Friday shopping. Please do not engage in any fights. Do not get yourself stabbed up.
Don't be the asshole who was in Barclays Center and jumped Seth Rollins.
Hey, listen. I don't know if you guys watched that kid's video. We're going to touch on that topic probably later in the week, guys, because everybody touched on it today. He does look like he does need some mental health help, man. He does look a little back on the upkeep. He was talking about how he got booked by Vince and Goldberg and all this to go there and do that. The guy needs help, man. I'm not going to blame him. You know, some people, it really looks, but I will say this about the Barclays Center as I have worked there. Bro, y'all got to step up your security or some shit, man, because with Bret Hart in the Hall of Fame and now with this, you guys are like 0 for 2.
That happened in Barclays too, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you can't, you got to be kidding me.
But until then, guys, again,
yo,
good night. Happy holidays.
We're your boys, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of turkey. Drink a lot of bubbly. Penthouse boys. Out!
Out.